Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to render skin in Nano. So the first thing, this is the model that I have already worked on. It is my personal project and I'm going to set up with Arnold. First I need to assign Arnold shader, and then I will create an Arnold light, area light. This model is 2 meters in height, so it's based on the world scale. I'm sorry for the audio, it's a little bit kind of noisy, and also I live near the windows and the street is outside, and it's 9 p.m. so most people do not sleep yet. So I will set up this lighting very fast and quick. Exposure is set to somewhere around 17. Resolution I push it to 1024. Okay, I will set up a camera, and I think the best way to render real without distortion in your view is to set your camera setting up to 100 or maybe around 80, so it won't be distorted so much. If you go to 35 by the default, you will see when you zoom in, you see some kind of like warping effect here near the lens. Unless you are doing that visual effect, then it's one thing. Okay, I'm going to test render that to see how this works. Okay, I'm quite happy with that, so I will I save this, I call it test. I will duplicate this light, put it over here as a key light, as a fill light. Okay, I will make this, yeah, somewhere around like 15. I duplicate another one, the same light, I put it backward just to give it some kind of like specular highlight, I don't know. Pull it up. I will make it around 17 as well. I do the same for another one here, put it down. Yes. Okay, now we can test render. I need to apply the displacement map first, and then I will continue to work on the this one should be around 5,000 and maybe 4,000, 4,500 did I this up to 17. Render camera. I will show you how to render the displacement map and also Arnold skin shader in that, and this is also a tutorial on how to survive solely on Linux. A lot of people have been using Windows because of zebras and because of the Photoshop freelancer. I recommend you to use Windows, or if you have two machines, I would suggest that you use Photoshop and Windows, Photoshop and zebras on Windows or Mac, and everything is on Linux because it's quite stable and it doesn't have any virus. And if you are planning to do visual effect or anything, I would recommend Linux. In Windows is consuming a lot of RAM. I have seen a lot of people trying to accuse about that, but trust me, a lot of people have been using in visual effect know this, that Linux is much more stable, especially it doesn't consume a lot of RAM in visual effect stuff. So I put this back. I'm sorry, I put the wrong lighting here. This one should be 4,000 and this up to 19. Okay, now everything is set. I will go to the hyperset and node editor. A lot of people have been using node editor, so we go to node editor as well. I delete everything in there. I'm using Wacom tablet, so any Wacom tablet starting with kernel from kernel 3.0 is working fine. You don't need to install anything. So let's tab and go to AI skin. Oops, no AI skin. I leave it there, but we will choose the displacement map. This is the displacement map that I go to the setting group, and go to the displacement map, go to file. In here I believe it's to object or the default or world, it's depend. I choose object, everything under the default first, and I go to the file that I have extract from ZBrush. In the future, since I'm using Linux totally, so everything will have to be Matbox. Next I will show you how to texture everything and use everything in Matbox, and also using GIMP along the way. And if you have a Mari, I would recommend you to go for Mari if you are planning for bigger stuff. Game on as well, game can also work. That's mean how to totally survive on Linux. So I go to the displacement map. Actually this file was modeled in ZBrush first, and then I switched to Linux because I hate it when I run everything. I have to wait. I'm not prejudiced against anything, but that's my workflow, that's what I like. If you prefer Windows, just go for it. That's your own way, as long as your client is happy. Okay, now we render everything with this is with the default shader, no skin apply yet. So with the displacement map, let's see how it look. It look quite nasty. And first thing that you need to do is to first go to your normal, soften the edge, and you have to make sure that your I need to delete history and come down here to Arnold. You go down, you go to subdivision setting, click cat mount clock, and then choose iteration up to 2, and we render again, and you will see it's bloat, ugly bloat. See, it does not seem to look right, especially the lighting is ugly as well. Let me get this lighting back. No, not that one. Which one has the strongest lighting? This one's 17. No, oh, this one is 19. Put the wrong lighting again. This one I get white. This one should be 18 with a line of 4500. I saved it and I render again. So it does not look the way I want it. It's kind of bloat, it's too big. You see the mouse, the lips here is closing in, it's too much. It's so the shape, but it's, yeah. So the thing that you need to do is to go to the AI standard shader, and you go to the shading group, and not here, you go to this shading group file. Down here you will see an Arnold data. No, not that one. I think I messed up that a little bit. Let me, okay, get that to work. In here, yeah, if you click on the Arnold displacement node, in here the bound padding, choose it up to 1, and this is 2.5. That's work for me, but if you are having a different patch for different section of the body, I would recommend you to test around with 0.2, 0.3, and the scale up to from 0.1 to 1. But I would recommend you try this first, scale of 1, padding of 1, and then 0.5. And let's compare these two. I will make sure from there to here, and camera 1. You see that exactly like what I expected. Okay, it different from here, which is bloat. You see, absolutely bloat, too big, close the mouth, the lips gape, and the eye also close. This one is what exactly look like in ZBrush. And now let's go to the nut and bolt part of the AI skin shader. Delete everything. We choose the AI skin. Cool, now we know how it works. Let's apply the AI skin in there, and this is the default AI skin shader in Arnold with the lighting setup of mine. It look, yeah, it look kind of like that. AI skin shader in Arnold is scale dependent, so you have to be careful with your model. I'm scaling it up to 2 meter based on the world scale. And also in AI skin shader you will see this radius multiplier. If you increase this up to higher, it will look like kinda, I don't know, it's like a marble or jelly or something. The higher the radius multiplier, it's look a lot more like jelly. See, it's so smooth, so soft. It is like when you are printing a 3D model and then you put it in the acetone, and the acetone is smoothing everything. If you leave it there for too long, all the detail are lost, and you see, if you are rendering some kind of jelly or some kind of, yeah, something like jelly is, I would recommend you to push it up to 50 or something, or whatever you like. For my case, I would choose somewhere around like 5. Yep, and I will have to make sure that my render setting is okay. It's 3:3, quite big. I make it 2:2. Okay, refraction, glossy, I will play with that later. And also the gamma correction, I will need to make sure that the display is, change the display but do not change the texture. The texture has already been modified by that, so that means it's coming in 2.2. This one is 2.2, and my color management set is to linear. That's the way it is. So change this up to 1 to correct the display, and do not correct this and display it as linear. If you change this as well, it will be washed out. Things would go terribly wrong. So let's go to the AI. I drop this down, and I leave the deep scatter. Let me show you a little bit of how what's it mean. I mean, a lot of people know this. You can skip that if you know already about that, but for most of the people who do not know it, I will show you. Let's say this is, let's go deeper into your skin. This is your skin. Let's say this is your skin. Okay, skin. You divide it into this and this and this and this. The diagram has already been defined on the home page. So the lower one in here, it's called blood or dip. In Arnold it's called dip. In here, deep scatter, and in here it's called mid scatter. You also have to notice that the full Arnold setting as well. The deep scatter of the blood has the color of blue or of red. If your model or your creature has a blue skin, blue blood or green blood, you need to change that accordingly. And here, the mid scatter is where the tone of your skin is having some kind of subsurface effects in there. It's a little bit darker than the outer skin. The outer skin is pale, so pale, and this one is a little bit like darker between there and there. So I will show you the texture map that I have already worked on that. So this is the outer skin of yours, and this is the glossy, and then the specular, glossy and specular accordingly. So right now I'm opening the file that I work on Linux totally, except a little bit of the file that I made in ZBrush earlier, and then I jump to seem to be arrow out. Open it again. Okay, go to 3D work, go to my model, go to the texture, go to the here and the body. I open them all. GIMP right now can support 16-bit, so it's okay, even though it has not support 32-bit yet, just like Photoshop, but it's fine for me. I'm not doing heavy stuff just like tutorial made on Hollywood. I will show you one by one. I'm going to apply the skin, the blood shader first. This is the blood shader. The blood shader is the original data that I got from Matbop here. the data that I got from Matbox. I mess with the hue and saturation, change it to the colors of the blood here, and then I blur it out because the blood has to be blurred out. I blur it out so much, and then I save it out as TIFF file, save as GIMP, and export as TIFF file. In here in the TIFF file, you will see the tip. That's for the bloods, and this one is the shallow. You see the shallow, this is the color of your skin totally. If you want a particular look, just change it here. I don't want to add the shadow around here. If you are doing game, it is okay that you need to put in the dark area where it is then a little bit of like lighter area somewhere, specular, anything. I'm not doing game. I'm just doing it my own style because I know that when I render the ambient occlusion, sync will already be covered there. So this is the outer skin, and this is exactly what it will look like on the render path. This texture will go into the static color, shallow scatter. So this is a shallow scatter. This is the mid scatter. I just changed that one a little bit into green because this is the auger file, the auger, this creature is the auger, so I made it a little bit green so that it you will see a feel of subsurface green inside there. I will put it in the mid scatter here, but we will test it one by one. And this is the scene layer, which is a kind of scene. In here it's called scene layer. I don't know if it's scene or song, I don't exactly know. But it's a here it's a what we call glossy effects. If you're using Mentor-Ray, you will know that it's a glossy effects. It has the default roughness already, so we don't need to worry about that. And inside Arnold, it has sheen and specular. So the specular, I made it kind of bluish. If you have time, you can try to draw along the line here. Wherever it is extruding, you can make a little bit more like push it, make it something like that. Now I make it a little bit. I think you should do this in either ZBrush or Matbox just for the sake of time. Okay, and now I save that as well, and let's put everything in here. The first thing that I need to mess around with is the scatter here, deep scatter. I don't change anything. I just turn off the mid scatter and also the shallow scatter. So this is the deep scatter. Let's plug them in. File. I don't play with this. I go to deep scatter. Deep, that's the file that I have. So let's render it out to see how it look. It will look exactly like you expected. See? Wow, very red. If you want a red giant, a red ogre, just go that way. But let's play around with it. I would drop the radius is recommended by Arnold somewhere around like 0.5. Let's go 0.5 and see how it looks. No, not 0.5, 0.05. It doesn't look much of a difference. Oops. Okay, let's put this around 0.1 rather than 1. And then do it again. I'm sorry you have to bear with me. I don't have this super machine to make it fast. I think I like this, and that's the way I think things should work. The blood is kind of dense, or if you wish, you can make this up to maybe 2. Okay, just to see if you think that it is not red enough. I think 0.1 is okay. Now let's try to turn this on. I would put this up to, let's say, 0.3, and I will plug in the mid scatter. Okay, and we will in here, I think we save that, render this. You will notice a difference in there. See, it's kind of greenish with 0.3, that you see the kind of scatter inside there. I think 0.3 is fine now. 0.25, 0.3. I think I like it. Now let's play around with the shallow scatter. Yes, you go to shallow scatter, but we haven't turned this on, so I make it like I would make this somewhere around like 0.5, maybe 0.1. Let's see how thing goes. I render this half only just to compare. It doesn't make much of a difference here. Okay, let's see if we increase this up to 0.2 and render it again. Well, it just a little bit difference, so I may drop this mid scatter to maybe around 0.2 as well, and that also has to, I have also had to drop this 0.5, this one to 0.5, because it seems way too much. With the radius, it's like spreading all over. Your skin doesn't spread like that. Okay, I'll increase this up a little bit. Now do a render again. Yeah, I think I would go with this look. If you put in the stuff back in, I mean sky dome or anything, it will look great. Let me get it done again. If we have already lost the connection with the displacement map, I think we lost the connection with the displacement map. Let's put it back in. I think we haven't put that earlier. So this one up to 1, this one is 0.5, and we click on this, we go to the displacement map. Yep, we have ring everything, and now let's render it out. Yeah, that's a bit. You see this kind of bump effect or anything around here. Okay, and let's anyway, this texture, I don't use any human texture at all. I just paint everything by hand. I don't use any photo reference or anything to make it realistic render. I don't like it, so I leave everything out of the phone here. I just plug thing in with the specular shader. This is the specular. It looked just like this earlier. Now let's see how it look with the specular we use. Yeah, it's kind of more saturated, but you still retain that effects. Okay, a bit of one from this oily model to this kind of here. You can increase it later, but now let's plug in the sound effect. I would push this up to 0.1. This will look absolutely gloss. Scene effect, I'm sorry, I call it sound. Okay, let's say that and render it again. Sorry, the car and motorbike is passing by, and English is not my language, so please bear with me. You see, now we come to this. Yeah, from this little bit up, now we have this kind of definition around here, definitions in here. You can play around more, and I can push this up to 1, and also this one maybe 0.2, and I will push this render up to 3 or 4 depending on what you render. I make this one 3 as well, and let increase this a little bit up to half HD 720p and render it out. So this is the way to show you guys how to render skin and Arnold. You can, some of you may have a better knowledge than me to fluxing around and make it even better, but that's the way I can show some of the other people who are starting out with Arnold. Also, this is the way that I survive totally on Linux without having to depend on Photoshop or anything. I just use ZBrush for sculpting and also for texturing, and I use some of Mari, Foundry Mari as well. I use Nuke to composite thing. I'm not a good compositor, so I just use everything. And I don't do all of this for money or anything. It's just a learning purpose, and I do everything free. Even this one is free for animation of my own. I post it on YouTube or anything. And I also want to talk a little bit about desktop environment. A lot of people have been accusing or waging a verbal war. It's like what is the good render engine? Are there V-Ray or Arnold or desktop environment, FCE, GNOME, Unity or KDE or Cinnamon or Mate or a lot more. From the experience I have been working in around Asia and many studios. I don't know about Hollywood. Maybe Hollywood has its own set. I have seen Beta Digital has been using KDE environment, Digital Domain, and a lot more has been using GNOME too. But honestly, I can say that GNOME is still the best, is still the popular desktop environment. I mean GNOME 2, not GNOME 3, which is a little bit suck, especially if you are using Red Hat 7 or CentOS 7 or any Linux distro and try to install GNOME. If you have a very strong and expensive hardware, that's okay, it will be running very fast. But if you are on a low computer, it really sucks. I mean, it sucks to the core that you can never imagine. Pretty slow. So most of the people switch to FCE. A lot of studios have been using FCE, but right now FCE seems to have a lot of problem. So KDE provide a very cool functional. I mean, it has everything. It's very mature, and a lot of people complain that KDE is slow as hell. I agree if you turn it on immediately and you don't know how to tweak that. So if you know how to tweak everything, disable all the effect, KDEs run as fast as the rest of you never imagine. And I'm using KDE for quite a year now. It's quite cool. So this is the model that I have already achieved. I hope you guys can use a realistic photo to make it look even cooler from 3D.sk and a lot more. So that is folks. If you have any comment, please let me know. I'm using my 2014. I don't know how to get 15 to work. It's really stuck. So enjoy. Please give me back a comment. Happy sharing the knowledge that I have. Bye.